Thank you for joining us today to review high-quality pre-kindergarten and the early childhood data system.
In today's presentation, we will cover the following items: early childhood data system, high-quality reporting requirements, preparing for the early childhood data system submission, curriculum, program evaluation, additional teacher qualifications, family engagement plan, student progress monitoring, and resources and support.
First, we would like to share more information about the early childhood data system, commonly known as ECDS. The Early Childhood Data System, ECDS, is a state reporting feature in the Texas Student Data System, TSDS. All public schools and open enrollment charter schools, also known as local education agencies, must report the high-quality pre-kindergarten data, which is aligned with the Texas Education Data Standards. This slide lists the various data elements that a local education agency reports to the ECDS, including the high-quality pre-kindergarten reporting requirements. This presentation will focus on reporting the high-quality pre-kindergarten indicators in the early childhood data system. Here, you see the high-quality pre-kindergarten indicators are starred. While the teacher-to-student ratio is a high-quality pre-kindergarten requirement, it is submitted with PEIMS reporting, and we will not be covering that in this presentation. We wanted to share the timeline for the Early Childhood Data System pre-kindergarten collection for the 22-23 school year. ECDS pre-kindergarten data submission due date for the LEAs and private kindergarten organizations is June 22, 2023. This data will be available to customers by July 6, 2023. This presentation is designed to support local education agencies better understand the submission requirements for each high-quality pre-kindergarten indicator. We will briefly review the high-quality pre-kindergarten requirements before digging into the reporting details for each one. Here's a quick review of the high-quality pre-kindergarten components. First, curriculum. The curriculum used in a pre-kindergarten classroom serving eligible 4-year-old students must be aligned with the Texas pre-kindergarten guidelines. Student progress monitoring. This measures the 5 primary domains at BOI, beginning of year, and EOI, end of year, using a tool from the Commissioner's List. Program evaluation. LEA should select and implement appropriate methods for evaluating the district's or charter's high-quality pre-kindergarten program. Additional teacher qualifications. Each teacher of record for a pre-kindergarten class serving eligible 4-year-old students must be appropriately certified and have an additional qualification. Finally, the Family Engagement Plan. The Family Engagement Plan is something where the LEA develops, implements, and makes available to families a family engagement plan. For the Early Childhood Data System reporting, you can see the high-quality pre-kindergarten reporting requirements listed on your screen. For curriculum, report the curricula used in the district's pre-kindergarten program serving eligible 4-year-old students. Student progress monitoring, submit BOI and EOI raw data from the 5 primary domains. Program evaluation, report the type of program evaluation tool that is used. Teacher qualifications, report the additional qualification for each teacher of record of a pre-kindergarten class serving eligible 4-year-olds. Please note that this goes beyond a teacher being certified to teach early childhood. This is an additional requirement for that certified teacher serving our pre-K students for eligible 4-year-olds. Family Engagement Plan. Report the internet website where the Family Engagement Plan document is located. As you can see these icons, they will be present further in the presentation as we cover each of these high-quality pre-kindergarten requirements. Preparing for the high-quality pre-kindergarten ECDS submission.
As you prepare for submission, it is important to ensure that all staff involved in collecting data and submitting data have connected and have a plan in place. For example, if you are the program person who has access to the data, but not the person responsible for submitting the data, you will want to be sure to connect with the person in your agency who submits the data. Step 1 of the process is to ensure that the person submitting the data into the Early Childhood Data System has access to the TEA login, also known as TEAL, and has applied for all necessary roles. Next, we will cover each high-quality pre-kindergarten indicator and provide information to support in the reporting process. For each indicator, there is a code table or data element that is found in the Texas Student Data System, or TSDS, data standards. These code tables and data elements are what would be referenced when reporting information into the Early Childhood Data System. We will also provide commonly asked questions for each of the high-quality pre-kindergarten indicators.
Let's start with curriculum. Again, that is reporting the curricula used in the district's pre-kindergarten program serving eligible 4-year-old students. This data element is titled Pre-K Curricula Code. The code table ID is C206. Curriculum is reported at the section or classroom level. For each section, a curriculum code must be entered. Curricula that are on the SBOE instructional materials list have their own code, as you can see here on the code table. If a curricula is being used that is not on this list, the appropriate code to use would be 99 for Other, and you can see that highlighted on your screen in red. Some frequently asked questions we get when submitting curricula information. Question: how do we report classrooms that use both the English and Spanish curriculum? Answer: only one curricula code can be selected per section. Choose the curriculum that is most used in that classroom. Question: how do we report our curriculum if it is not listed in the code table? Answer: code 99 for Other should be used for any curriculum that is not listed in the code table. Question: if we use a curriculum that is not on the SBOE instructional materials list, do we need to provide documentation of alignment to the Texas Pre-Kindergarten Guidelines? Answer: yes, it is recommended that you keep documentation on file that demonstrates alignment to the Texas Pre-Kindergarten Guidelines. Documentation is not submitted to the Texas Education Agency.
Next up is program evaluation. Select and implement appropriate methods for evaluating the district's or charter's high-quality pre-kindergarten program.
When reporting program evaluation, this is included in code table C216, Program Evaluation Type Code. This slide has the linked page for program evaluation. Additionally, when selecting a code, please ensure the local education agency staff selects one of the 3 options. 00 if your district or charter did not complete any program evaluation. 01 if your district or charter used TEA's pre-kindergarten self-assessment tool, including either the online version or the downloadable version. 99 if your district or charter used a different program evaluation tool. Please note that using the online TEA self-assessment tool does not submit this data in the Early Childhood Data System. The appropriate staff will still need to report using the code table found on your screen. Frequently asked questions for program evaluation. Question: does completing the online version of the TEA self-assessment submit the data to the Early Childhood Data System? Answer: no. The online version does not submit information in TSDS to the ECDS Pre-K submission. The appropriate code must still be submitted in the Early Childhood Data System for the pre-kindergarten submission to report the tool that was used. Question: do all of our campuses have to complete a program evaluation? Answer: no, the program evaluation is an evaluation of each local education agency's overall pre-kindergarten program. Only one program evaluation is necessary to meet this requirement. Additional teacher qualifications. Each teacher of record for a pre-kindergarten class serving eligible 4-year-old students must be appropriately certified and have an additional qualification. This data element, titled Pre-K Teacher Requirement, and the code table ID is C207. A code should be selected for each pre-kindergarten teacher. It should be noted that code 03 should be used for teachers who have either completed the 150 hours of professional development, with 75 of those in a coaching relationship, or teachers who are completing the professional development coaching hours annually. Frequently asked questions for pre-kindergarten teacher requirements. Question: I have a teacher completing professional development hours over the summer. Can those hours count, or do the hours have to be completed by the last day of school? Answer: yes. Professional development hours taken in the summer can count towards the current school year up until the LEA submits data. Family Engagement Plan. Develop, implement, and make available a family engagement plan. This data element, titled Family Engagement Plan Link. Since there are no codes to be selected for this element, there is no code table. Instead, it is an open field where local education agencies are to provide the link to the website where the high-quality pre-kindergarten family engagement plan is located. Here's information regarding valid links versus invalid links. Valid link goes to a web page where the family engagement plan document is located or can be downloaded. A valid link would be a link that goes to a family engagement plan web page, or a valid link could be a link that goes directly to the family engagement plan document. Examples of invalid links: a link that goes to the main district web page, a link that goes to an outdated plan, a link that is broken. Remember, plans must be updated annually and made available on the LEA's website by November 1st of each school year. Frequently asked questions for Family Engagement Plan. Question: can our Title I Family Engagement Plan count for this plan? Answer: yes. If all the required high-quality pre-kindergarten family engagement plan components are included in the plan, it can count. This also applies to local education agencies who have a Head Start family engagement plan. Question: do all of our campuses have to create a pre-kindergarten family engagement plan? Answer: no. For purposes of this high-quality pre-kindergarten indicator, only one family engagement plan is needed for the local education agency's overall pre-kindergarten program. Student progress monitoring. Using a tool or tools from the Commissioners List, BOI and EOI raw assessment data from the 5 primary domains should be submitted to the ECDS. This data element is titled Assessment Title Code. It is code table DC154. Each tool from the Commissioners List has its own code for Spanish and English assessments. Data for each of the 5 domains or academic subjects, as you see listed at the top right, must be submitted to the Early Childhood Data System. Note that the dial for English and Spanish and the BAS3 BESS English do not provide data for all 5 domains. If you're using one of these tools, another tool should be used for the missing domains.
Issues and errors can be caused by the following: missing student unique IDs, incorrect format of student unique IDs, extra spaces in the data fields of the assessment XML files, for example, extra spaces in the assessment code or assessment title. These extra spaces could cause a failure when loading data into the ODS or could generate fatal business validations after promoting the data. And last, errors can be caused if the student parent extension XML is not loaded prior to loading the assessment metadata and the student assessment data into the operational data store.
Frequently asked questions for student progress monitoring. Question: a tool from the Commissioners List was not used. How do we submit data? Answer: a tool from the Commissioners List is required to be used for BOI and EOI student progress monitoring. Assessment data can only be submitted from the tools that are on the list. However, student data should still be submitted. The TEA Early Childhood Programs team will be contacting LEAs who did not use an approved tool to provide support in meeting the requirement for the next school year. Question: not all 5 domains were assessed at BOI and/or EOI. Do we still submit the data? Answer: yes, data should be submitted. TEA Early Childhood Programs teams will be contacting LEAs who did not assess in all domains to provide support in meeting the requirement for the next school year. Lastly, we do not want you to feel that you are alone through this process. We will share some resources and tools that are available to assist you through the submission process. Remember, the deadline for data submission in the Early Childhood Data System is June 22, 2023. Here are some resources and contacts for support. The Texas Web-Enabled Data Standards webpage includes the data components and code tables for the Early Childhood Data System. The Data-Driven Instruction in Early Childhood Education webpage includes information about early childhood assessment reporting. During the submission process, should you run into any technical issues and need support, local education agencies and other education service centers should work with their local champions to resolve any issues. There are several ways to get support. First, if you have technical issues, those should be submitted using a TIMS ticket through your TEAL login. From there, those local champions and stewards will be able to respond to your question and/or elevate it if needed to the teams appropriately identified at TEA. Furthermore, you can see on your slide that there's the email for the TSDS customer support at tea.texas.gov. You could use this email for assistance with PEIMS and ECDS. Users with the appropriate roles at the LEA and ESC levels have access to a variety of reports to determine how local education agencies are progressing with their submissions. Local education agencies can access reports and help articles through their TEAL login. Education Service Centers, typically the ECDS champion, should be able to run the high-quality pre-kindergarten component completion report. This report is a snapshot of what was submitted for the Education Service Center region. Additionally, with the TEAL login, you can access knowledge-based articles and help articles. Remember, in TEAL, the functionality is based on your user role. If you have difficulty, please use one of the supports included in this presentation. Your ESCs are always going to be your first line of defense. The Early Childhood Data System Champion has been specifically trained to assist in supporting the local education agencies with their submissions. On this slide, you see an example of the high-quality pre-kindergarten components completion report. Again, this is an Education Service Center level report. The ECDS data champion at each ESC can pull this report to view high-quality pre-kindergarten completion information. To close out, here are some important tips and reminders. Local education agencies should only be entering 0 if an assessment truly scored 0. If a 0 value is entered for a pre-kindergarten assessment academic subject, it will be recorded as not proficient in the calculation based on the lowest proficiency score range in the assessment specifications. If a student is exempt from the assessment data is not uploaded. However, the student information would still need to be submitted. And lastly, a very important tip. Please review the special warnings. Some of the high-quality pre-kindergarten elements will only generate a special warning if left blank. The system does not generate a fatal error, which means if you leave something blank and do not review the special warning to correct the issue, the system will still allow you to complete the submission. One example is the teacher requirement element. The system will give a special warning if there are teachers who do not have a code for that additional teacher qualification. It is important to review the special warnings to cross-check that the information entered is correct. If you find you have additional questions or need support, please contact us using the TEA Early Childhood Education Division support portal. Thank you for viewing this presentation on the high-quality pre-kindergarten requirements for the Early Childhood Data System. Have a wonderful day.